everyone, and Assalamu alaikum. This is Introduction to Psychology Part 1 PSY 312 by Dear Knowledge. Okay, till now we have successfully completed the part of the central nervous system under the nervous system, and we are currently discussing the peripheral nervous system. Now in peripheral nervous system we have successfully completed the part of the somatic nervous system, in which we discussed the afferent nerves and efferent nerves, and we are currently discussing the part of the autonomic nervous system. Now in autonomic nervous system we have discussed about the autonomic nervous system, what actually is autonomic nervous system, what are the functions of autonomic nervous system, and what are the importance of autonomic nervous system, and how can you increase or decrease your autonomic activity. And under the topic of autonomic nervous system, we have discussed the sympathetic division in our previous videos, and in this video this is the end of lesson 2, in which we will be discussing the parasympathetic nervous system, or the parasympathetic division. Again, if you haven't watched all those videos of the nervous system, I have given links in description. Go ahead, click on those links and watch those videos. So let's start with the parasympathetic nervous system. This will be the end of lesson 2 of the whole nervous system. So I have included 2 definitions of the parasympathetic nervous system, or parasympathetic division, so it will be more easy for you to understand the whole topic. So the first definition is the branch of autonomic nervous system that maintains normal bodily functions and conserves the body's physical resources. Or another definition is the parasympathetic nervous system is the branch of autonomic nervous system that generally conserve bodily resources. Now, whereas the sympathetic nervous system mobilizes your body's physical resources, the parasympathetic nervous system conserves and maintains your physical resources. It calms you down after an emergency situation. Now, acting much more slowly than the sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system gradually returns your body's system to normal. Heart rate, breathing, and blood pressure level out. People constrict back to their normal size, saliva returns, and the digestive system begins operating again. Now, the division of the nervous system is concerned with situation where energy is conserved or replenished, such as eating, slowing heart rate and blood pressure, and so on. Thus, the parasympathetic nervous system supports the activities that are concerned with the increase in the body supply of energy, which may be diminished in response to the emergency situation. Salivation, secretion of gastric juices, and increased blood flow to the intestinal system are a few of the functions of the parasympathetic nervous system. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter which is used by this division. In a nutshell, the parasympathetic nervous system activities processes that allows the body to save and store energy. For example, actions by the parasympathetic nervous system, or the actions by the parasympathetic nerve slows heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and promote digestion. Now, let's talk about the comparison between sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Given here are the ways in which the 2 systems function. It can be seen that they produce opposite effect. However, there are some exceptions. For example, though the sympathetic nervous system seems to be dominant during fear and excitement, the parasympathetic response of the involuntary discharge of bladder or bowel is not uncommon during fear. Though it appears as the autonomic nervous system works only in situations that can be called emergencies, it has to be borne in mind that autonomic nervous system also acts to maintain normal internal functions and works with the somatic nervous system. Now, I have included a table in this video, so you can see that the structure, if we talk about the structure, which is iris, the eye muscle, and its function, how it functions under the sympathetic division and how it functions under the parasympathetic division. So let's start with the iris. The structure iris In sympathetic division, pupil dilation occurs, whereas in parasympathetic division, pupil constriction occurs. Whereas if you talk about the structure salivary gland, saliva production is reduced under sympathetic division, and saliva production is increased in parasympathetic division. About heart rate or structure heart, so heart rate and force is increased in sympathetic division, whereas heart rate and force is decreased in parasympathetic division. Whereas lungs, the bronchial muscles are relaxed in sympathetic division, whereas the bronchial muscle is contracted in parasympathetic division. The structure lungs, so bronchial muscle is relaxed and okay, so let's start with the stomach. The digestion is decreased in sympathetic division, whereas the digestion is increased in parasympathetic division. Kidney, there is a decreased urine secretion in sympathetic division, and there is increased urine secretion in parasympathetic division. Whereas if we talk about the bladder, so the inhibit bladder contraction occurs in sympathetic division, whereas the contraction of bladder occurs in parasympathetic division. So why does these differences occurs in each divisions? Because in sympathetic division, your body is about to defend itself, to protect itself from an emergency or threat. So that's why all these function occurs. So you can your body is prepared to save itself from any threat or any emergency situation. Whereas the almost if we pay attention to these changes of each structure in parasympathetic division, the reason why these changes occurs because in parasympathetic division your body is full in relaxed condition. You're not in threat situation, you're not in emergency situations, so that's why such relaxing changes occurs in parasympathetic division. So although the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems produce opposite effects, they act together, keeping the nervous system in balance, and each division handles different functions, yet the whole nervous system works in unison so that both autonomic and voluntary behaviors are carried out smoothly. So this was the end of the video. If your concept is clear, you can like the video, and if you're new to this channel, you can subscribe to Dear Knowledge. You can click on the bell icon so you will never ever miss any notification from Dear Knowledge. Plus, you can share the link of this video with your family members and your friends, because sharing is caring. And if